All right, welcome back to another Merge Draft. We opened a pretty sweet one here in Doppelgang. One of the few cards I'm going to be taking over Novice Inspector. Pick on pack one. Card's extremely powerful. It's also very splashable. You know, you're playing a black-green deck. Pretty easy to slot that in there. Sort of a weakish pack past that. Novice Inspector, definitely the pick I would take after that, and then Shock. And then past that, you know, I don't love Corner Crook as much as I thought I would. It's just a little bit more awkward with all the ward creatures running around. Can't often cast it on turn 5 and kill something. Not a bad card, but I would definitely take Shock over it. So we'll take Doppelgang and see how sweet our deck can end up. I've been definitely dabbling in the decks that kind of go deep, multicolor, graveyard stuff, base green, mid-range stuff. So that's you know, good start for those decks. So here the best card is Torch the Witness. It's a fine follow-up after Doppelgang, because like when I'm starting blue-green, I don't care that much about the color of card I take next. Like, I think a kind of easy follow-up would be Greenbelt Radical, which is fine. It's a solid card. But since you do tend to splash quite a bit, I do think I'm just going to take this Torch. Crawl Whip Cracker, also a good card. I would actually probably take that over the Radical, to be honest, even though this is a bit more flexible. This goes a little bit more in your aggressive decks where, like, it's kind of used as a finisher. But yeah, I'll take Torch and you know, start picking up some fixing. We also don't like need to necessarily play both these cards. Maybe, you know, blue-green doesn't end up being open, or red ends up being open. Like, this is kind of the advantage, just like taking the best card in the pack early on, no matter what. At least within reason. You know, if I could never see playing these two cards together, I'd probably take a blue or green card from that pack. But, you know, I definitely can. And then this pack, there's a Galvanize, which I am close to taking. I think I'm just going to take the Bite Down on Crime as a similarly good card and goes with our better card. Dogwalker, of course, here. Leering Onlooker, pretty good too. Projector Inspector. This is actually a pretty strong pack. A lot of cards I like here. But yeah, we'll just take the solid green card. Okay, so there's a Galvanize, there's a Shock, and the way I've been leaning with these two cards whenever you have to make this pick between Galvanize and Shock is if you are blue-red or blue-base or just have a lot of clues, I tend to take Galvanize, but if you're not, I tend to take the Shock. Like, if you can consistently turn on the 5 damage mode, I like it. But I think I'm just going to take the Shock. It is a pretty close pick. Ooh, a Bondkin. I love me a Bondkin. All right. Pick this up, and actually one of the things I'm going to be on the look for is like the blue-red or red-green Surveil land, so that this can fix us for the red cards potentially, because this can of course go get the rare lands because they have land types. Also, a Person of Interest here, double Topiary Panther. Probably would take the Person of Interest if I didn't have the Doppelgang in the pile and kind of pivot to red. But with the Doppelgang, I do want to lean towards that. At least for as long as, you know, they're going to pass us good green cards. If those stop and we just get good red cards, that's totally fine too. Like, I'm not hard locked into playing this Doppelgang by any means. Now we take a Vengeful Creeper or a Extract Confession. This is a better card, the Extract Confession, but the flexibility of just taking a green card when we've got a bunch of green cards in the pile, and also with this Bloomkin, you do kind of want to lean green if you can. It's totally fine if you don't have this in like a, you know, 11-6 green deck. If you're just a 9-8 green deck, I think it's fine too. But, you know, if we can maximize on this, I would like to. So I'll just take the Creeper. Yeah, I think I'm going to take another one. Nothing too exciting in this pack. There's a Public Thoroughfare, and I like this card if you are a 4-5 color deck, but I don't really like it if you're a 3 color deck, because the other fixers in the set fix you better for 3 colors. I do think you want access to a 5 color fixer that you don't get locked into something. Like, you don't have to cycle your Topiary Panther, go get a specific land, or you don't have to sacrifice your Access Tunnel, go get a specific land. That is good in your 5 color decks or 4 color decks, but we don't have to go that deep just yet, and I'm just going to take the green card here. All right, now we get a Gadget Technician as the best card in the pack, or at least, you know, one of them. I think Extract is also quite good, probably in step with as good as Gadget Technician is. Also a Bubble Smuggler, which is a card I actually play quite a bit, and the Sanitation Automaton as well, just as, you know, solid 2s, or at least playable 2s. Also eliminates the Impossible card I like quite a bit too, but we'll just take the Gadget Tech. All right, well, I was saying that the Corner Crook is a little bit clunky, but I'm going to take it here. Yeah, we just picked up the Gadget Tech, and we have a Torch the Witness as a, you know, 2 artifact makers. So now it's kind of looking like we're like red-green base, splashing the Doppelgang. Also, a Vengeful Tracker. I like this card, but it's more of an aggro card, of course. That being said, I do kind of have to respect my curve going forward. I do have a lack of cheap cards. All right, there's another Corner Crook. So I almost wonder if we pivot to like blue-green, depending what comes to. Oh my goodness, what the? Well, you know, sometimes these things happen. So red is extremely open. We might be the only drafters at the table drafting red. We'll see if the other Galvanize comes back. Okay, it looks like it didn't. We're not on a table where people are that crazy. But wow, okay, last big Person of Interest, that says a lot. Okay, so that really does make me kind of reevaluate our stance and where we are. we're now shifting to base red. Like, red is open. We have good red cards. We're going to take a Reckless Detective. I do still want to play this Doppelgang, though. So even though red is generally an aggressive color, I think it can play both ways. Like, I don't think that we need to necessarily move into an aggro deck. We'll kind of just see where things take us. But Reckless Detective is the best card in this pack. So it's nice that we get to just take a card that we know we're going to play that is in the color that we know is very, very open now. So yeah, we'll just nab that and go on. Also, another person of interest, but if we are like a red-green ramp deck, person of interest gets a lot worse because you want to be able to block with your 4 and 5 mana creatures. This card is very good, but mostly for attacking. And yeah, Detective's great. All right, and then this pack, we've got a red herring. And usually I would just like, take good red cards to keep red if you know your base red. It's good to kind of get deep into one color so that you get more flexibility as the draft goes on. The more you lock into certain colors, the less flexibility you have. But Gardener with the Doppelgang, I think, is more appropriate for this deck. We also just don't want a 2-drop that has to attack each turn if able in this deck. Also, Analyze the Pollen. Wouldn't mind that, too, as another pretty solid fixer. Also, a blue-green land. I did mention the blue-green lands. I do want those, but Nervous Gardener, I prioritize pretty highly over that. So, close pick. I think you could have taken the blue-green land here, and I wouldn't really bat an eye at that. I'd say that's a fine pick, too, but I just like the Gardener a little bit more, a little bit of card advantage. Okay, so there is a Deduce, and I almost wonder if we, like, another option we could have is, like, blue-red somehow splash the Doppelgang. It's a little bit harder, of course, because there's less colorless fixing than there is green fixing, but this pack's not great for us. There's really nothing I'm that excited about. There's another solid blue card in the Courier. There's a Hunted Bone Brew, but we'll pass that along for the people who are drafting black, and I think I'm just going to take the Deduce here. Not that it's a card I'm going to, like, be happy to splash necessarily in my red-green Doppelgang deck, but again, I think there's a chance we do pivots to a blue-red deck, but we get an Archdruid's Charm, and Archdruid's Charm is awesome. We're just going to take this. This is a card that, it looks a little bit scary, a little bit mana intensive, but the thing you have to consider with it is, number one, green decks do have ways to kind of fix their mana, get the sources they need, and number two, you don't need to cast this card to like turn 5 or 6 anyways, so the green pips look scary, but I'm just going to play this in basically every green deck. Gets a little bit better if you can cast it on turn 4, or, the sooner the better, basically, but I'm not going to shy away from it just because it is triple green. Okay, this pack is not really full of cards that I love. I like Fanatical Strength, but not in this kind of deck. We're going a little bit bigger. Same thing with Hustle Bustle. I like that card, but not really in this kind of deck. I could take the Ambusher as a fine card. I think I'm probably going to take that. Actually, you know what? With the cards, we have a lot of cards that care about artifacts now. The Galvanizes, the Reckless Detective, the Corner Crook. I do think that Crocodile is a little bit worse than the other card, but this one fits our deck a little bit better. Okay, now, yeah, not much. I guess I'm going to take Thoroughfare, just in case I need a little bit more fixing. Also, sorry, I've been hiding these cards over on the edge. I should probably have brought them in a little bit sooner, just so you can see the big picture of this deck. And, yeah, because I can't see myself splashing any of those other cards there. All right, those are hard-hitting questions. I will take that. Prosthetic Memory. This card's kind of sick, too. I like this card a lot. But we're already a little bit short on fixing. We know we want to play the Doppelgang, so I'm not just going to, like, lock into just straight 3 colors or anything. We don't have the fixing for that. There's also a Scene of the Crime as an okay fixer, but I'll take the hard-hitting questions as a good solid card. Okay, Strider's a good pickup. Not only is it an artifact for our cards that care about that, but it does fix our mana and is a cheap card, and we do kind of need that here. I don't think I'm going to play any of these cards, so I'm just going to take the gems. I very much do not think I'm going to be playing those cards. Ooh, okay, Analyze Wheels, that's also pretty nice. We don't have any, like, excellent creature to go get just yet, but, we definitely pick it up somewhere. Gonna pass along these Rakdos cards. Yeah, okay. So priorities in pack 3, a little bit of fixing and cheap cards. Who doesn't like more fixing and cheap cards? Okay, what do we take here? So V2 Gauzy Inspector is probably the card I want to take. There's a Coerce to Kill, and that's tempting. It's very interesting. I think given our mana requirements currently, with like triple green and putting an island in our deck, most likely I'm not going to take another card to splash. If I had more fixing at this point, and I guess I have the Gardener too, but if I had more fixing at this point, I probably would take this over an Inspector, but the lack of cheap cards currently, and, if you want to put the Nervous Gardener in the 2-drop slot, doesn't look as bad, but we are lacking cheap cards, and this is one of the better cards for stabilizing you in the mid-game against the aggro deck, so I'm pretty happy to take the Inspector. Okay, another Galvanize, but at this point, we're almost too removal heavy. I could take a They Went This Way. I could take a Greenbelt Radical as well, but as I said before, I don't really think This deck maximizes on Greenbelt Radical. I think I'm still going to take the Galvanize, but they went this way is pretty interesting. Okay, this pack, I think I am just going to take the Scene of the Crime. It is an artifact for what it's worth for all those things I've been calling out. And I don't really like too much else in this pack. There's Lazov. Lazov's a strong card, but Offender at Large is a card I like too in my aggro decks, but it's just not going to play the same role in this kind of deck, really. You know, you want this card when you're pushing damage, not when you're trying to get to Doppelgang mana. Oh, okay. So we got a Detective Satchel here. Interesting. Okay, so fixing count here. We've got the Scene, we've got Strider, we've got Nervous Gardener, we've got Analyze. We're actually not that bad on fixing. I could play it safe. I could take the Eavesdropper. And I think if I was in a very competitive setting, I actually would do that, because it does also play well with the stuff that we care about with the artifacts, and deals 5 of Galvanize and Crook, but Satchel's really strong too. And here's the other thing too. I probably even tank on this for a while as I'm drafting if I was in a super competitive setting, because even though we have Doppelgang, we're not always going to see it every game, so having just like one more way to close out the game as we've kind of grinded, I think is something we're in the market for. And here I'll just take an Escape Tunnel. There's another, they went this way, but our spell base is quickly filling up with good cards, and I will just take a good land to, you know, take a pick that we know we're going to play. All right, we're just getting all the Galvanizes in the world. Yeah, third one there. Oh, wow, jeez. Case of the Burning Masks, although this deck's not going to like this card as much as like a red-white aggro deck will, because we're not often going to be dealing 3 sources. Like, we're not going to be like, kill your thing, get in for a bunch. I'll just take the 4th Galvanize here. I don't think that's something I mind. All right, and then take a Sanitation Automaton here. This is a 2 if we need it. Ooh, Are we now at the point where we want the Coerce to kill? There's a Branch of Itugazi, which is fine. Yeah, I think no. I think I'm just going to take the Branch. Like, again, we just kind of have some tough mana requirements. Okay, we do wheel a They Went This Way. We might even wheel a second. I don't know if I would play a second, but wouldn't be bad to have the option. Okay, looks like we're just have some stuff at the end of the pack here. Yeah, I like how this ended up. We ended up with like more playables than we need. Certainly our mana base is not perfect. I would have liked another Gardener, another Tunnel, something like that, but it's in a place that we're comfortably going to be able to play these 2 blue cards we have. Okay, so mana base is looking something like playing an island for sure, because we've got ways to go fetch it. I don't think we have to play the Branch of Itugazi. We've got, I'm just counting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere 5, 6. Like, yeah, we're good on fixing. I'm going to cut the Purse of Interest, like I mentioned. I just don't really want that kind of card in this deck. And 18 versus 17 lands here is kind of close. We have a lot of ways to get additional mana sources, so I think we're just going to play the 17, so we have to make 2 more cuts. Bite down on Crime. I think a lot of our early turns are going to be leaving up mana, playing Galvanize. I don't imagine us playing a creature all that often early in the game, so this card's going to be a little bit awkward. We're going to cut that. And I guess like the last card is Sanitation Automaton. I kind of don't mind this, though, because we are light on cheap creatures, and you do want, like, in some formats, if I just had 4 Galvanizes, I would be like, oh, cool, I don't actually need 2-drop creatures, really, because I'll just, you know, cast my Galvanize on turn 2, killer 2-drop. But that doesn't work as well in this format, of course, because of the Disguise creatures, so you do actually want things that can trade on 2 instead, and it's an artifact, so I'm not just going to go there immediately as my cut. I think I'm just going to cut the Crocodile in that case, then. Yeah, that seems fine. Okay, so mana base wise, we want to be heavy green because we have a bunch of green cards that go and get us our other colors. So we just want to make sure we can flip our Gardeners and cast our They Would This Ways and stuff. I actually think I'm not going to end up running the Scene of the Crime here. I'm just playing another Mountain. Like, I think our spells fix this well enough. And this can be a liability sometimes, right? When your opponent has an Orangutan or a Vengeful Creeper of their own, and just being a tap land sometimes hurts. So I think that's about where we're going to land. And this is 6, 7 red sources. 8 when you count the Analyze. Like, I'm talking early red sources, so we can galvanize their 2-drops most of the time. I think that's about it. Okay, yeah, it was an interesting draft. Let's see how the games go. All right, so we have a hand that has a 3-mana play. It's got a Corner Crook that's not doing too much. It's got a Doppelgang. I do think I'm going to keep this. It's not a perfect hand, but it's also not quite mulligan worthy, especially on the play here. Like, if I was on the draw, you know, it makes a little more sense to mulligan, but even still, I think this hand would be perfectly keepable. Ooh, my arena is very much lagging. Give me a second, I'll restart this so you don't have to sit through all this lag. They Went This Way was a really good draw, because now we can just do that thing that I was talking about where we, you know, play this and play the Crook, so Let's cast that. Also, we could just sack the clue here, I guess. That's actually probably a little bit better because currently they don't have a threat that I really want to kill. So I'm just going to draw a card with this clue instead. Second artifact. There we go. All right, so we're back. Opponent played his face down creature, and what are we going to do? So, not going to attack. I could just play this creeper face down, and honestly, I don't hate just playing this Gorda-Crook as a 5/4, so I'll just do that. Yeah, I actually don't mind that. Like, it's gigantic. It's going to mean that we're ahead on board. It means that they maybe have to be put in an awkward spot where they go for an awkward double block. Ooh, that's a good one. Well, now I am happy that we play this out so we can just go hard-hitting questions and then play something else this turn. All right, so sorry, Massacre Girl. Not today. Not today. And get in. I guess I can get in with the detective, too. I don't actually want to rummage anything away just yet, though. Could have done it last turn as well, but I think my hand is good enough. Like, I want these lands. I want to play this creeper this turn. If it was looting, you always loot, right? Like, because you're only improving your hand when you're looting. You're never really going to downgrade it, or very, very rarely, I should say. But with the rummaging, that's not always true. Vengeful Creeper. Cool, cool, cool. Nice. Okay, another land. And yeah, I'm going to keep this land here. Not going to attack with the Creeper, or not going to attack with the Detective. Let's get in. I imagine they go like Creeper on the Crook. But I can see them blocking the face down creature too. There's not like that many things that yeah, actually I think it's more likely to block the face down creature because there's not really that many things that would get them. Like I guess I could have Ref Burst Hellion, but that's not a card that many people play. And if they block my disguise creature, it means that they I have to spend mana, or otherwise I could choose not to. Okay, they don't. They just block here, and that's okay too. Yeah, I'm fine trading off there, and I will flip this. I don't think I'm gonna wait around for them to give me an artifact or enchantment target. Isoni, yeah. Oh, it's such a good card. Yeah, I'll have what she's having. Yeah, we'll happily copy an Izoni here. And probably, what's the other thing we're copying? Vengeful Creeper? It's a little bit unfortunate because we only get one copy. Boo-hoo, I know. But yeah, we'll just copy Vengeful Creeper as well. So, Yes, please. That was great. Okay, yeah, let's exile Crook. And I guess we can do, sorry, these two. And actually, that's kind of funny too with Doppelgang. I can make, ooh, interesting. Do I want to make more? I guess so. Why not, right? I guess the reason is Analyze also does require evidence, but there's nothing I really want to go grab. So yeah, I'm just gonna just do it all. Why not? And also the Izone, I can sack all these tokens. It's kind of funny. All right, get in for Izone's ability if I want to. Yeah, I imagine what they might do here is just chump and exile this from the grave, so they have more tokens for Izone. Write down a crime. Yeah, that's totally fine. I don't think I'm going to be sacking tokens to draw cards. I don't think we're just, like, crushing them, by the way. Like, if they have another removal spell, kill a 5/5, they make more tokens here. Like, it's not just, yeah, extract, kill a big thing. Sure. I guess I sack my Creeper. Yeah. So I can collect evidence here sooner. What am I getting with this? Flourishing Bloomkin, maybe? Yeah, this looks like probably. Okay, this is fine. We're going to go kill the Izone here. Well, I said we weren't that far ahead, but I now that we've seen what their turn was, I do believe that's not true. I think we are pretty far ahead. Do I want to block the spiders? Let's see. Actually, hold on 1 second. I should count lethal here if we have it. So they go block. No, it's not really close to lethal, so I think we're advantaged if we just trade off here. Block like this, and want to kill a detective, or trade off a detective, or a spider. I guess detective is a little bit worse. Yeah. And this gives me the, if they want to trade here, that gives me the 8th evidence for the collect. So, yeah, we'll just block like this. Okay. Yep. All right, so again, what are we doing here? Do we want to analyze first? I don't think so. I think we're just gonna jam and then go get the Bloomkin. All right, yeah. All right, yeah, let's just do. We can even flip the Bloomkin this turn. Ooh, okay. Killer Among Us. That's it's not a bad one here. They're a little bit more stable. Mm-hmm. Okay, so flip this Bloomkin. We got the green sources, yep. And a gardener. Alright. So yeah, we still have good attacks, so just get in. Yeah, forced into some bad blocks. And now I have a decision. I could play out the gardener, or I could hold it to play around Deadly Cover-Up. The problem with not playing the gardener is it plays around Deadly Cover-Up, but it plays into other things. And I'm trying to think of specifically what the other things could be. Like something that, you know, comes in. I mean, I guess just another Killer Among Us, which doesn't put them in a great spot, but still does stabilize them, like, okay. Yeah, I think I'm not going to play around the Field Wipe here. I think it's just a little more likely that they have cards that might be able to catch them up if I don't play another threat here, you know? Okay, Night Drinker Moroi. Ain't gonna do it. They went on their own terms, though. Love it. Okay, sweet. All right, a hand with a Galvanize, a Bloomkin. Yeah, we'll keep this hand. Okay, so gonna go get a forest here. Of course, there's those islands that we need for our doppelgang, but a little more important just to be able to cast our green cards in the early game. Oh, sorry, I just like totally made a mistake here. I should have just played the mountain. I might a little bit of a brain bust there. Right, let's get this Bloomkin face down so that we can set up his hard hitting questions next turn maybe. Against red-white, you generally actually don't want to block their disguise creatures early because they all flip for value, or a lot of them do, right? You get in situations where they like flip their dog walker, flip their museum night watches, and sure, you've traded and you've saved yourself a little bit of damage, but they just go, you know, flip and you kind of lose out on that exchange. So if they attacked there, I don't think I would have blocked. But it is kind of interesting that they didn't offer it first, right? So now I think I'm probably going to want to kill this for the same reason. You want to kill these before they flip up and they get value. Other option is I could just hard-hitting questions the person of interest, and then they went this way. That's actually probably a little bit better. Like, it puts us way ahead on tempo. And means that we can just cast this corner crook and put us ahead on board next turn. So I think that's slightly better. It's close, though. And I will go get the island this time. Yep, no attacks. Go for the Galvanize. All right, that's very good for us. I do not mind them spending their turn doing that. All right, cool. Draw land. All right, so yeah, as much as I was just talking about playing the crook this turn, I think instead what we want to do is Galvanize, kill this face down, because they now have given us a chance. Like, I was thinking, I'm missing out on killing the face down creature last turn, and maybe we give them a bit of value, but then we get to, okay, again, be really ahead on mana. But now that they've given us another turn, I do think I'm going to do this and then just play the Strider to block. What was it? It was a oh, a Branch of Vichikasa. Okay, so not a dog walker or a. It's interesting. They did not want to offer that in a trade, so they really wanted that. Maybe they want the fixing. And no attacks. Okay, that's good for me, obviously. So let's go Sanitation Automaton. Galvanize. Yeah, I think I'll keep that. And I'm going to play land. I'm going to sack the Strider. We don't need the fixing anymore, so I'll just turn this into a bolt. Make sure finding the crook. Yeah, I mean, when your red-white opponent's just spending their turns killing your things. That's usually a good sign. Although they might be a 3-color deck or something, and they just have cards stuck in hand here. All right, so there's a option for me not to crack my clue this turn, so we can deal 5 with Galvanize. But I do think we want to be putting pressure on and finding threats when they've just been, not doing too much. Okay, a forest. We'll definitely just play that so that or I guess our Bloomkin's dead, but in any case, I'm still going to play it. We might get to X equals 3 on Doppelgang, and that would be sweet. Person of interest. All right, that's fine. Ooh, charm. Okay, well, we'll hold on to that. I don't think I need to cast it just yet. Just attack with their person of interest. Yeah, they are definitely cooking something over there. they're not just playing a public thoroughfare for no reason. So that probably means I do want to go get a threat. I guess I go get my Vengeful Creeper so that I can blow up the makeshift binding. Search. And ideally, we draw land this turn so we can do it all in the same turn. Reckless Detective. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm not going to play out the Creeper. I think I really do want to wait until I get to 9 mana. Because, again, the opponent's kind of been like... I mean, they could have just all cards of a different color, but I imagine they have some interaction spells in hand that they've been saving. So I don't want them to be able to kill the Creeper. And they know it's a Creeper, too, of course. Because we tutored it. So we'll just play the Detective. Pass the turn. Kind of nice, too, because now we can double block this person of interest. Yeah, they're almost thinking like, ooh, I think they do removal, and they're like, should I kill this? Like, you always want to pay attention to when your opponents pause, where they're thinking. Even on turn 2, sometimes, where it's like if they pause in turn 2 and they're like, well, what removal spell? Sorry, what creature should I play? Well, that means we have multiple cheap creatures in play. Like you can definitely tell a lot about your opponent's hand based on where they pause, where they stop to think. All right, well, let's just do this. If they go for a trick, we can galvanize. Okay. It's a good trade for me. Teen Street Gossip. Just a big old 4/4. Okay, so they're playing green cards, it seems. Land was good. Nice. Okay, so play on face down. Pass the turn. Very good, actually, because now this thing can't get in cleanly. What could be so good that they want to splash this and like other green cards? Maybe they just had a rough draft potentially. I could see that being true. Like they might just not have some awesome card they're splashing. They need to make playables. Yeah, they're reading. They know what's gonna happen. They see it. All right, we're gonna go for it. Let's get our creature back. Spend our mana. All right, another land. So don't think I want to attack with the detective and send it into the gossip. We're just gonna attack with these two. Yep, that's a fine block for us. All right, worked out. Yeah, still very curious about what the opponent's cooking over there. Like they just have a bunch of cards in hand, and now they have. I mean, I guess double green cards could be a possibility, but I was gonna say they have multiple. Okay, some lands. They have access to all colors of mana. Okay. We'll see where this is going. A green black tap land and a face down creature that I do think I'm going to kill right here. They're going to go for like a galvanizing detective. Yeah, that's reasonable. Yep. Okay. Another truck. Well, I'm gonna play it just as a big creature. I wonder if we're gonna see another Izoni. Like what? That's what I'm thinking with the black green tap land. But it really could be anything at this point. Our deck is full of, like, some reasonable cards still. Some draws that aren't particularly great, like Shock. Satchel would be a great draw. Doppelgang, obviously the best draw. Analyze the Pollen, not bad too. Alright, tapping in a particular way here. Another face down creature. Drew a land. Okay, so I think we still do send here. There's not really anything that punishes us too hard, and we want to pressure them still. Walk him like that. Okay, let's kill the face down. Or put the face down first. And? Sure, alright. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Again, I'll play my land. So we can get the sweet, sweet Doppelgang for 3. Attack. Oh. What's this mean? Ferox on blocks. Okay, okay. A shock. Alright, I guess we just hold that. Yeah, again, one of the lesser spells here for us, but it's okay. Alright, it looks like basically they're just like, yeah, might have had a bit of a rough draft. Just straight 3 colors. But it's kind of funny, actually. They're more red-green. We've only seen 1 white card. So they just have, like, 3 planes in the deck? That's what's happening here? Yep, the bash. Trading off here or not is interesting. Because if they have nothing, we just shock the 2/2, of course, and then we win. But we also want to buy ourselves time to just draw the rest of the good cards in our deck. So it's not clear what I'm supposed to do here. I think if they're making this attack... It doesn't mean too much, because I think they also want to end the game here before I draw good stuff. I think I take it once, and then we'll see what happens after that. Okay, yeah, respect. Can we draw a Doppelgang? Okay, so... I actually cannot target Niv Mizzet, but that's okay, because we can target the Ferox, which is just as good. Okay, so... what do we do? I guess we're shocking the 2/2 and then just hasty Feroxing here. Yeah, okay, that looks good. Not well, I guess we could do x equals 11. There's nothing wrong with that. Or x equals 3. Yeah, well, let's just do that. That's sweet too. Actually, no, it is actually a little bit better to kill this, because then we get 2 hasty things and they don't have, yeah, they can't have 2 removal spells. If they have a removal spell, we'll attack with this hasty thing, and they have a removal spell and we lose, so I will forego the sweet play for the cool play, for the correct play, unfortunately. Very sorry, everybody. Yes, I am sure. Yes, please. I will indeed collect some evidence. All right, that was a heck of a game. Well, I guess, no, I could have done the sweet play, because this doesn't even play around a removal spell, because I would just remove one of my 4-power creatures. So, my bad. I could have done the cool thing. I won in the wrong way. I'm very sorry, everybody. All right, round 3 here, 2-0, and okay, it's an action light hand, but we've got a 2. We've got all our colors, and they went this way. Hopefully, draws us into some action. Off Inspector. Hate to see it. All right, let's go get our island. Do you think this red-white opponent's also playing Niv Mizzet? It could be. All right. Yeah, we'll go get the island. In fairness, the opponent, after, it looked like they were red-white, but I think they were just red-green, splish-splash a bunch. Okay, so I guess we lay on the forest and play Strider. Satchel, not a bad draw. It is nice that it does feel like you no longer face the red-white decks that are just always going like Inspector into Neighborhood Guardian into Dog Walker, and just like the sick curve outs don't happen quite as often anymore. Okay, so we can play They Went This Way and get ourselves a little bit of mana for next turn, but it doesn't actually help us cast any more cards. So I could just play the Gadget Technician, flip that up. But that also isn't that efficient. Like, we can just do that next turn. It threatens to trade with the face-down creature, I suppose. So we just, like, play this and trade. And then if this is a Dog Walker or a Museum Night Watch, I don't really want to block here. So I think I still am going to cast Thing with this way because our potential draws could still unlock something good here. Like, we draw a Shock, and we're able to go Technician plus Shock. So the current hand doesn't actually really matter for how we sequence things here, I don't think. But for our potential future draws, I think it matters. All right, they do attack. Of course, kind of representing a trick. I think I'm just going to block on the Inspector here. I think it's a pretty free attack for them anyways, so it's not like they're costing themselves anything by attacking with it. Doesn't necessarily mean a trick, right? All right, then we play the... Yeah, check face up. Or I guess we can play it face down. Not really much reason not to. Yeah, why not? Don't need to give them that information. It's not like I'm casting anything else this turn. All right, again with the team. So this does now mean a trick now because there's no reason for them to attack this into this, right? Could be on the job. Of course, as always. I think what I'm going to do is block here, make them use the thing they have. If it's on the job, we trade, take a little bit of damage. I could even block with this Strider. I think I'm going to wait on that, though. So, yeah, let's just see what they have. Could be the Chase is on, of course, like always, but if that's the case. Yeah. Or Auspicious Arrival. We still get something out of the deal. Prevent a little bit of damage. They, hopefully, this was their entire turn. I mean, they get to crack the clue, but hopefully they don't add another 2-drop to the board. Ooh, Galvanize was a great draw. Okay, so, yeah, we'll play the Satchel. And leave Galvanize. Make the opponent's life hard. Go for some blocks. Yeah, and all that, like, talking about where to block, where not to. I found that really helps with kind of the perceived speed of the format. Oh, gosh. Okay, yeah, that's a problem. Am I going to Galvanize now? I still don't think so. Yeah, like, I think I found the format faster in the early days just because I was kind of blocking in the wrong spots. And then I'd really gotten by the tricks. But I found lately, now that now that I know how to play around the tricks a little bit better, not really walk into them. You don't just get completely blown out of tempo. Of course, it's still tricky, but I've felt for myself in my own games, I'm not just getting run over because of gameplay, right? It makes it, once you kind of know how to play around things, it makes it a little bit easier. All right, so I guess we just go like this. Sorry, like this. And would I like to chump block here? No, I think we want to try to accrue some value and then trade up on future turns. So I'll just have this happen here. And I do think we need to awkwardly do this, unfortunately. If they have a trick, yeah, it's bad, but okay, cool. You get that's the point. Ouch. I do have creepers that might actually kill this Warrior's Call, but it might be too slow. Like, if we draw it literally next turn, it's not going to be good enough. Ooh, that was a good one, though. Okay. Yeah, that was nice. Okay, so we can also go get a creature now with Analyze. Could be the Creeper. Yeah, like, oh, that's actually a pretty good turn, right? We go get the Creeper, play it face down, play the V2 Gauzy Inspector. Next turn, we flip up, kill the call. Other thing we could do is go get Cornered Crook. That actually is probably a little... Yeah, Cornered Crook's better here. Why don't we do that? So we're going to gather some evidence. Yes, please. Go get Cornered Crook. Because that means we can kill something and make a 1/1 token with the Satchel. Of course, that means my V2 Gauzy Inspector doesn't gain any life until the Cornered Crook and something else dies, but I think that's okay. The thing that stabilizes a little bit better is more important right now. Pretty dead if this is just a Dog Walker, but, it is what it is. Okay, they didn't flip, so it's more of an expensive thing, I imagine. crowd control warden, potentially. All right, I think we just shove. Bad against another chases on, but I think they would have attacked with the inspectors too if they had chases on. Night watch. Okay, that's fine. Yep, to get delta points. Ouch. And the vigilante. Yeah, all right. Ugh. Creeper. All right, so I could just play this face up and then play the inspector. I think that's probably what we want to do. And we're gaining a bit of life with the inspector too, so the pings don't matter that much. Like, if I play it face down this turn and I play the inspector, I don't have great blocks. I'm pretty sure I just have to do that. Yeah, I'll just play this face up. Play the inspector. Collect some evidence. Where am I putting this counter? I could put it on... I think if they have a removal spell or a trick, we're just kind of dead anyway, so we might as well just try to brick this. We just can't come back from that kind of tempo loss at this point, I don't think. Airport Guardian. All right. Another ouchie. And Inside Saurus, more ouchie. I mean, you know, I was talking about how, like, it's a little bit easier to play against the aggro decks, and this is kind of what I mean. If they didn't have this Warriors Call in play, the good rare, I think we'd be in a very, very good spot. All right, yeah, we're getting in there. So we're gonna block here, trump block here, and yeah, can't even really make a great triple block somewhere, right? Yeah, very, very good attack from them. They're putting me in a spot that's not giving me any time. I would like not to trade this off so I can hold back the other stuff, but I don't really know if that's possible. Like, I guess I go, if I do this, chump. What are my outs at this point? Not a ton, but I don't think going to 1 is the play. So we're just going to make this block here. I guess a little bit better to jump with a flyer. Yeah, okay. Or chump with the 1/1, I should say. And Torch the Witness. All right, so we can make a blocker, kill a thing. Okay, so we can crack a clue first. Corner Crook was really good. Yeah, that's kind of what we needed here, I think. Okay, so now we... Yeah, make a 1/1. Play the Crook. Can we stabilize? It's going to be a really close one here. Yeah. Pass the turn. If they don't try action this turn, then we're actually in good shape. Like, actively good shape. As actively good as you can with a Warriors Call in play. Okay, that's probably really bad for us too, obviously. Land. You can attack. If it's Dog Walker, we just lose, of course. So, and I think they're looking, it just enters the battlefield. Yeah, that works. I can flip the Dog Walker. I think it's Dog Walker. Or maybe Offender at Large. Not that me calling it out makes it any better for us. Or actually, sorry, no. They just have lethal here, because, yeah, I guess I should have noticed that. Not that it would have mattered too much, but, yeah, we're just dead anyways. Okay, yeah, really close game. Good game, opponent. Yeah, like I mentioned, if they didn't have the Warriors Call, but if they didn't have that good rare, we would have won. But no, just a little bit of a commentary on how I think you can kind of play around the aggression of the aggro decks. It's not just like, well, blistering fast, can't do anything about it. I do think my games versus the aggro decks have been just easier now that I've known when to block, when not to. I think we kind of think things are kind of set in stone where the cards are just the cards, right? But gameplay does pull a lot of weight. Ooh, we're playing Jamtron, who's, I know, a very good player. Hangs out in my Twitch chat sometimes. All right, keep this hand. Maybe looks like a green mirror here. Ooh, Examiner. So I think what that means, I kind of want to play up the Gardener now so I can hard-hitting questions next turn, but then next turn's not great anyway, so I guess we just don't play out well, I think we do play out the Gardener not to fall behind on board. But then probably not casting these hard-hitting questions. Like, I want to get this thing off the battlefield for sure, but it's not like they're going to investigate all that soon. We can always hard-hitting questions on turn 4 or something like that. All right, nothing. So, yeah, let's cast. They went this way. Oh, no, we're getting, mutationed. Wow, yeah, that was bad for me. All right. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Guess this means we're just going to torch the witness this thing. Yeah, eavesdropper. Yeah, we're starting to fall behind a little bit now. All right, so just cast torch on the examiner. Next turn we can go technician, flip up technician. All right, yeah, that's fine. Another examiner. All right, yeah. Deck looks good. Looks like a good blue-green deck, which is a good deck. Shout out to blue-green. All right, cool. Okay, Strider's a fine draw. Means we can cast our blue cards, so will the auto tapper let us not auto tap? It will not, unfortunately. You know, against good players, you definitely give up some information by tapping in a very specific manner. Not that I think it matters too much here, but I would have liked it if the auto tap just said, yeah, I'll keep up your red. It's not very good at predicting the face down creatures, unfortunately. Okay. So it looks like they are not cracking their clue. Or I guess they could, but they're not going to give it vigilance. Don't want a double block here. I don't think so. I think I do. Yeah, we can just do this. They crack the clue. As to not just have their eavesdropper die to my face down creature here. And of course, I have to act first. Play Maverick. Yeah, not the greatest trade, but I think we kind of need to buy ourselves some time here. Drawn to our good cards, cast our spells.
You have done that yourself!
Okay, so that's good. That allows us to now cast our hard-quitting questions, which we couldn't do because we blocked. We exile this and this. Cool. Yikes, looks like they have something here too, unfortunately. So it makes me a little bit suspect, of course, of casting hard-hitting questions. Don't want them to investigate either. So what could they have here? They could have a bounce spell. I guess no harm in attacking first. They might bounce this. All right, I'm going to go for it because I think we're just going to lose if they keep making clues here. So it's not great for us, but... Yeah, another mutation. All right. Yeah, pretty good. That's the other thing, too. If it was another mutation, like I kind of want to make them use it there unless, or instead of holding it for a bigger thing we have, a doppelgang, a satchel. Yep, make it 4/4. All right, so now we basically have to string together some of our better cards. Doppelgang would be good. Ooh, yeah, that's bad too. But might be a little bit slow. All right, I think that probably just means we lose. Like, we need to draw exactly Doppelgang. And even that might be not quite enough. They also have spells in hand too, I imagine. Or can find them. And, you know, Killer Among Us puts more evidence in the grave for next turn, so even if they don't have anything this turn, they're going to keep on chugging along here, drawing more action. Bite down a crap. Yeah, okay, so definitely just Doppelgang or bust here, and if they kill something else, and I have to block the Strider, or they just kill the Strider, then yeah, that's also game. Because then I don't have a blue source for the doppelganger, which is my one out. It looks like that's what they're doing. Yeah, all right. I'll give him the GGs there. GG Jamtron, GG. All right, 2-2. See if we can win out from here with a good opening hand. Yeah, I will happily keep this. Okay. Let's play our mountain. Might want to kill something with the galvanize. Reckless detective. I would like to kill that with galvanize. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's high on the priority list of things to kill. So I think we start with the creeper because if they do choose to, shock this or cast long goodbye, it's better if they kill that than the bloomkin. Face down card of their own. Cool. Nervous Gardener. All right, that was a good draw. Yeah, we just go play that. Don't mind trading that off for whatever this thing is. Getting another red source. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Sweet. Yep. And we're gonna... Oop. That feels good. Yeah, let's go get the red source. Yeah, I think I'm just trading here. Like, I'm not flipping this for a while, and we've also got other big things, so let's just not take some damage. Analyze the pollen. Okay, that's kind of cool. I'll just play, again, just straight up running at the corner crook. Means it's less likely that they, like, kill this bloomkin, which I do want to be able to flip. They probably have to point a removal spell at this before anything else. Drone Smith. Alright, that thing's probably going to die. Galvanize. Okay, well, that's even better. That's a little more efficient. You can use the hard-hitting questions on something else. So there's a thought to holding this, or casting this now, I should say, when they're tapped down. Can't get blown out with the Galvanize, but I do think being able to kill a large thing here makes a little more sense. It looks like they do have shock, for what it's worth. Oh, it could be the Rage, too, the +2/+0, and it actually might be that, because they're thinking about it here. I think they wouldn't think about this long if it wasn't Felonious Rage, so... Looks most likely what it is. Play the bloomkin. What are we getting with Analyze the Pollen next turn? Might just be another 4 or 5. Honestly, these corner crooks have been funny. They've been like, in some spots we have been able to kill some good stuff, but I've run these out just as 5/4s pretty often. I think I've been saying 4 or 5 for this game. They're 5/4s. And they're Drone Smith, sure. Okay, so we definitely do want to cast this pre-combat so they can't block and trade. Go get the forests. Forests. Yep. Yeah, this is where the arena tells really get you. Like, I don't know if I would make this play otherwise, right? It's arena tells, but even in paper, if the opponent stopped and thought for that long, I also would make this play, right? So it's like half arena tells a little bit. The tells are like, oh, they have something, but again, where they stop and think, that really matters. I would really encourage you to, like, when your opponent stops and takes a while to make their play, think why would they be thinking here? One more and we get to the break-even mark. And I never feel bad about a 4-3, you know? All right, this hand's interesting because it either is going to be really good or really bad. If the opponent's playing just like, not any token makers, not trying to disguise creatures, although we are on the play, so we're going to be able to, on turn 4, kill their disguise creature if that's one of the first things they play. So not like I was considering mulliganing this hand, but just some projection of what might happen in this game. Player tunnel. All right, looks like, okay, so here's where the arena tells do come in, because it looks like they have a something they can play, and they can't play Felonious Rage with 1 mana, so it has to be a shock here, right? Ooh, that's interesting. I guess we can always cast this next turn. Oh, no, don't want to do that. Cast this next turn, and cast Galvanize on something. So I'll just wait here. Yeah, another Reckless Detective that's going to bite the dust. And if I don't draw a land, I will just cast Analyze here. Oh, that was a great draw. Yes, please. Cool. Inside source. All right, it's a good one. Draw another forest. Okay, so I'm not that into attacking here. I don't really want to discard anything in particular. I think hard-hitting question is probably the worst thing here, but I would like to block this 2-2. If they spend the turn activating this to pump here, we get to galvanize. So yeah, I'll just play this. And a turn we can go get something. Probably like a Gadget Technician just to stabilize us. Maybe the Bloomkin. We'll see what they do. Seasoned Consultant. Sure. Their Seasoned Consultant. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's just go search for a creature. And we'll go get Gadget Tech. And instead of galvanizing, we just play Gadget Tech plus hard-hitting questions, and that works fine. And I also do want to get this hard-hitting questions out of my hand, because we know they have the shock, right? So we want to be able to use this kind of as soon as we can. Obviously, they can now shock the Technician, but that's not a huge, huge deal. And if they want to attack with 3 things, that means they have to attack with the source, and then, yeah, these can trade here, and we block here. Although, to be honest, I might just not block this turn, because we have a removal spell in hand, so I want to play around a trick. Ooh, Torch the Witness. Yeah, that's a good one. Torch the Witness is real good. Ooh, I'm actually a little surprised they are doing this instead of just attacking with these 2. All right, cool. Need to draw some action. That's action, although need to have some time. That's also important here. All right, so I do want to kill their things here. I think I'm going to kill one of them. Between the 2-2 and the 1-3, it's kind of close, but I think I'm going to go for the 2-2. If they play an Inside Source or a Person of Interest next turn, obviously it's a little bit worse for me, but I can also just cast this and clone one thing if I really need to. Like, if they just play a big creature here, I might do that. Griffnot Tracker. Oh, that's kind of close. Makes me want to, like, half want to, half not to, because it's probably not good enough, and I should wait. I'll see what my draw step is, of course. If it's a land, definitely not. Okay, yeah. If it was like a not impactful spell, I might wait. So now land's just the best draw in the deck. And unfortunately, we're like a little bit better than a 3rd draw land, and not all of our spells are amazing here. Okay, Cracking Clue is a good sign. We did draw the land. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for it. It's not the most amazing doppelgang in the world, but it works. Exile the cards from your grave. Meddling use. All right. That's a good one, too. So we go like this and like this. Well, seems like a good block. We're going to be left with a 1-3. They're going to be left with a 1-3, which they are advantage for sure here with just on board and looking like having 3 spells in hand. And a clue. Oh, sorry, we have 2 1-3s. That's better. All right, let's just pass here. Keep this land. I don't think there's a reason to, so we'll just play it out. I mean, the reason is to conceal some information, but we have ways to draw cards, so I think we're not going to. Yeah, we'll just, like, you know, we draw a Torch the Witness to kill a big thing, crack clue, draw a 5-drop or something we can't cast in the same turn. That's kind of a disaster. So the information that we save is not really that big of a deal, or that we conceal, I should say. All right, Crook's a good one. Yep. Ooh, all right. Well, playing this, and yeah, I think this is probably going to be it, because we don't have to jump block this turn, but I think I'm probably going to, and they have 4 spells in hand, or 4 cards. I could be just sandbagging lands for sure, but our best draw is probably the Bloomkin now, because it blocks this and eats it. Person of Interest. Yeah, all right. That's going to probably be enough. All right. Yeah, good game. Good game. All right. A little bit of a debrief here. Yeah, I think that this deck was like a little bit action light. I think if I had one more top end card, you know, we had the Satchel and the Doppelgang, it would have been a lot better. These, don't really count because sometimes they were good and sometimes they were 5/4s. I think they were solid in this deck, but they weren't the top end I was looking for. Even something like a Killer Among Us, that would have been fine. But you saw a lot of the games. What happened was we answered their stuff, we blocked early, and then we couldn't really close, right? Because we were kind of waiting around for a long time trying to draw good stuff, and we just didn't have the density of finishers, basically. So I think we did draw like slightly below average some of those games. But yeah, I think just one more good top end card would have made this deck hum. But anyways, yeah, 3/3, not terrible by any means. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you tomorrow.